Okay, we're back. So let's continue onward in episode 5. So, okay, last time I was mostly just clicking around trying to see what the hell did I miss to advance the plot. So let's do a once-over one more time. Okay, we've talked to Emma about everything. I don't think there's anything in here I really need to examine, do I? Mia's plant, Charlie. I've been taking care of him in Maya's absence. Mia's desk. I stay here even less now that I stopped taking cases. I at least dust it off once in a while. Difficult-looking legal books stand in a formidable row. They mock me. I tried reading one, it made my head hurt. When I closed it, it slipped out of my hand. Then my foot hurt, too. Oh, Phoenix. Looks like it's clean today again at the hotel across the way. I hear they're planning a second branch outside the city. Egads, the bellboy was staring right at me. Edgeworth's knife, a murder weapon. Usually in Edgeworth's toolbox. Traces of blood, no prints. Goodman's ID. Parking stub. Record of parking in the prosecutor's office lot. Entered lot at 5:12 p.m. I think there's anything I need to show her. Maybe this. See this? Ah, I've noticed that defense attorneys have a tendency to want to show people things. What is this, a behavioral study of lawyers? Alright, she's not here. Talk to her about everything. Anything we should show her? She allegedly witnessed the murder. Take a look at this. You said you wanted some hot tea, right? No, but thanks. She didn't even look at me. You must have to brew the leaves a long time to get rich flavor like this. You pre-infuse the leaves with steam before brewing. I knew it, so that's the secret to their aroma. Exquisite. The only thing I'm smelling here is wasted time. About this card. Lunchland vendors only accept cash, no cards. Especially not a card belonging to someone else. No, this isn't a credit card, it's an ID card. It belongs to a detective. And you're showing this to me, the lunch lady. Why? That's like showing a fine honeyed ham to a detective. Why do I always feel like I'm being mocked? Okay, did I examine everything in here? Oh, I didn't look at the... Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears! No, my ears. Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure. What is she babbling about? Hey, what did you just say? See, you can hear just fine. The phone's broken. The phone's broken, huh? Still... nothing else, though. I don't think. No. Just take a look at this. You said... oh, nope. Okay. A defense attorney must be able to fight. How about you? Do you think you can win? How about tackling Lunchland's Pickle Supreme Lunchbox? Ew. Wow, it's really crunchy. A box of pickles? Kind of a sad lunch if you ask me. Ditto. Not a pickle fan. Gotta say. The only other thing I can think of is just show everything to everybody and see what they say. Wait, maybe... actually... if that's the case, where I should be going... yeah. Yeah, Dick's still here. Should be showing something to him. This ID card belongs to the victim, Detective Bruce Goodman. You can do just about anything these days with a card and the right secret number. Scary. It's only scary because you keep dropping your card, Detective Gumshoe. I forget my secret number a lot, too. It's scary. But I'm me, after all. What could be wrong with that? I think I'll stay out of this conversation. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car. Stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have, someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. The car and the knife do seem a little too well organized to be a coincidence. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What could have happened? Yeah, two cases in a row somebody tries to frame him. We have to find a little more about what's going on with Edgeworth. Hey, that's it! That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got yesterday. Were you at the awards ceremony, Detective? Of course, pal! Got an award for diligence myself! Ah, congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason! I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. But I was proud of Mr. Edgeworth for winning that award. Even with all the naysayers in the prosecutor's office. Naysayers? Must be because of the rumors. Oh, that he forged evidence? Oh, Edgeworth's not here. A work desk. It's quite tidy as one might expect. What a nice desk. Easy to use and easy on the eyes. It's polished so well I can see my own reflection. I prefer not to have to look at myself while I work. Wow, what an amazing bouquet. Oh, no kidding. Hey, there's a card on it. Back from the dead, Wendy. Oh no. Wendy? I've heard that name somewhere before. And here beside a giant steel samurai. Wow, I want one. Huh? There's something written on the bottom of his foot. Between a rock and a hard place, Wendy. Oh no. Oh no, old Bag's sending him gifts. Is the prosecutor in this office named Wendy? I don't think so. Whoa, what a view. Must be nice to have an office on the 12th floor. Guess you'd feel important. Incidentally, were you to jump out this window, the time until impact with the ground would be... Got it. Approximately 3.23 seconds. That's handy to know. I guess. If you really want to jump out the window. What's this? Looks like a shield of some kind. It's broken. Maybe it's made of chocolate and someone took a bite out of it. Does that look like chocolate to you, Phoenix? Thought you were supposed to be smart. It appears to be made out of bronze, with gold plating. It's not worth much. $70 tops. This girl has a thing about pricing everything, doesn't she? I wonder what that big K means. Mysterious. That is a good question. Oh, what a soft and comfy sofa. Makes you want to say, sofa, so good. What? Sofa, so far? Yeah, I got it. I'm glad she's not an aspiring comedian. Hey, a chessboard. Not too up on my chest, but it looks like blue's in a bit of a tight spot. The red knights have surrounded the blue pawn. Huh? Those horses are mounted knights. Their swords have really sharp edges. Check out that poor pawn. His head's kind of spiky. Kind of reminds me of you. Oh. Yeah, I know, but this isn't the point to... Isn't the point to surround the king? Yeah. Whoa. These are all case files. They're stacked up to the ceiling. There's even a ladder. The shelves already packed super tight like that. What's the prosecutor going to do when they get new files? Splendid, Mr. Wright. What an unusual observation. I think that was a compliment. There's a jacket framed on the wall like a painting. Fabric is high-grade cashmere, Italian styling. Silk ruffles, turquoise buttons, and a gold thread collar. Guessing it's worth around $5,000. $5,000? Speaking of which, your suit would be about... That's enough of that. I don't need my life appraised, thank you very much. Well, someone's sensitive about his wardrobe. But I still don't know what I'm missing here. Maybe if I show her... I don't know if she knows... Okay, no. I already showed her that, right? I think I did. Well, I'll do it one more time just to be... Nope. Okay, nothing I need to show her. Still nothing here. Huh? Oh, I went to the exam mode. Oh, maybe that's what I need. I need to... Yeah, I forgot about that new feature that was added to this, in this case. Nothing... Still nothing important, though, I'm seeing. See, this is my attorney's badge. Ah, well, I've never seen a real one before. You're the first one who's actually been interested in mine, believe me. Its composition is mostly silver. The gold plating is flaking a bit. Oh, I think I did already show this. She analyzed it, scientifically. There doesn't appear to be any corrosion due to sulfides. I'd give you $50 for it. Sorry, but it's not for sale. Yet. What am I missing here? Dick, help me out here. Something around here I need to examine? I was wondering about that. What? The dancing blue badger? It's my masterpiece! You made this, Detective Gumshoe? Are you serious? Chief, they're together some designs. I just did my thing, pal. Nice work. It's battery powered, so it can go anywhere. There's no switch, so it just dances till the batteries die. Poor Blue Badger. Fated to dance until he drops. Oh, that's a clue. Okay. That's all I know about that. Okay, that was what I missed. That fucking badger. Not officially on this case, you know. Thank you. Why aren't you handling the case, Detective Gumshoe? We met the guy who's... What was his name? The guy in the parking lot? That'd be Officer Marshall. He was appointed directly by the Chief of Police. Officer Marshall? Is he some kind of Wild West sheriff or something? Oh yeah, him. No, Jake Marshall's just a regular officer. From West L.A. For a moment there, I wasn't sure. Look, pal, let me try and make things a little easier for you. Show him this now, let you examine the crime scene. Maybe. Oh. Introduction. Allows bear to investigate the crime scene. I'll be surprised if this gets us anywhere. Just act like you're supposed to be there. Nobody will look at you twice, pal. Okay. Looks like the investigation's still going. I have to be getting back to the shop. Looks like I'll be stuck in this pit till the sun sleeps. See you in my dreams tonight then, baby. Huh? Who's that talking? Oh, her? Oh, still here. Hello. Why the surprised looks? Didn't I mention? I've got a boyfriend in criminal affairs, too. What happened to the security guard? Oh. And there's McCree again. Hey, what's wrong, Bambina? You looking like a doggy that's lost its herd. Jake Marshall. Strange guy to put in charge of a crime scene. Okay. Would you mind reading this for me? What's this? I warn you, fan letters to me go right in the spittoon. It's a letter of introduction from Detective Gumshoe. May we investigate? Gumshoe? Oh, that old cow dog. Holding a birthday party or something? Huh? Look, where it should say letter of introduction, it says invitation. Ah, I think he just miswrote it. Wait, why am I getting all defensive here? No worries, this proves from Detective Gumshoe better than a blood test. Guess I better let you in then. Thank you, Officer Marshall. Oh, that's right, he's a patrolman, not a detective. Which reminds me... Hey, wait a sec. Isn't a crime scene supposed to be handled by a detective or higher? Well, folks, the clues are calling. Welcome to our gold strike. Be like the settler, strike out for lands unknown. Manifest destiny, let's have a hootenanny. Note to self, police investigations are like settling land. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say? I say I won't be needing this anymore. Okay, I guess we can investigate the crime scene now. So let's check this out. This rope, is it... Yep, they laid it in the outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. What? You've got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. I mean, we have the knife that at least seems to be the murder weapon. What's this? Looks like a note of some sort. What is that? 6-75-12-2. Look, something's written on it. You're right, let's see. 6-7-S-12-2. There's a name print on the paper above that. Goodman. That must have been his stationery then. Maybe it fell out of his pocket when he was killed. Well, so what does it mean, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Note to self, for deductive reasoning, go to Edgeworth, not Wright. Thanks. I'm sure Edgeworth wouldn't know what this means either. Maybe, but hold up. Let me take another look at it. Where's my... Okay, I'm gonna... Okay, wait. I'm seeing if they're pulling a 11037 on us. If maybe it says SL9, and that's 1221 instead. It could be. I'll have to keep that in mind. It'll probably be important. This appears to be the car where the body was found. Looks like the lock on the trunk is busted. The crime took place in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. The body was found in the trunk of my subordinate's car. Quite a luxury car. It just screams I have money to burn. Yeah, prosecutors get the big bucks. B block is through there. That's where visitors park. I can see the Lunchland car over there, far in the distance. Hey, you're right. I like the cute design on the door. I can see a cartoon cow munching down on a juicy-looking steak. Okay, that's a little ironic. Yeah, I think Emma thinks so, too. Doesn't that strike you as a little creepy? Just don't think too deeply about it and you'll be fine. This looks like a cell phone. Scientific analysis would suggest this belonged to the victim. I can't think of anyone else it could belong to. What's so scientific about that? Should we check it out? Right, let's check it out. Oh. This phone's still on the redial screen. Redial? Mr. Wright? Most phones keep a record of all the calls you've made and received. You just press the blue button to display the last number you called. Convenient, isn't it? Surprised you didn't know about it. Sorry to disappoint you, but even I know about things like redial. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you never know with people from your generation. What's that supposed to mean? Whatever, let's check this phone out. No, what? How do I... the hell? Okay. I'm not... Is it gonna let me, Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no. I was trying to figure out how to move the... Oh, shit. I'm trying to figure out how to do the, how to move the magnifying glass. That's... Or can I not do that? Okay, I guess we just have to do it like that. Now to see who the owner of this phone called last. Note to self, a defense attorney doesn't think first, he just pushes the button. Hey, that song! I know that! Yeah, that's... Hey, what's going on over there? The Steel... that was the Steel Samurai theme. Sorry. I'll see you, partner. You pressed redial on that there phone, didn't you? Oh, well, yeah. Whose phone is this anyway? It was on the ground over there. Whose is it? That belongs to Chief Prospector Sky. What? It's my sister's? She apparently dropped it when she was taken into custody, right after the crime. Look, the last call was made right when the murder occurred. Looks like she was fixing to call someone. Except she only spoke for a few seconds, according to this. Who'd she call? No idea. Sorry, partner. Yeah, I guess when this game came out, cell phones weren't that sophisticated yet. Now I got a question for you, partner. I heard a phone ring just now, one of those newfangled ringtones. Oh, that. I'm sorry, that was my phone. It was? What? Your phone? Yeah, it's kind of strange, but someone called me right as we picked up the other phone. A wrong number? Or was he the last one? Was he the one who was dialed? No, that doesn't make much sense, does it? Hope you're not lying. They shoot you for that in Texas, partner. Uh-oh. Died of the wrath of the Lone Star Patrolman. This isn't Shadowrun. Last call was made at 5:18 on the day of the murder. Is there anything else here we can look at? A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors. Defense attorneys are regulated to B block. I dream of the day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers from you, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Yeah, you're counting on me to bail out your sister. I wouldn't go dissing his intelligence that much. Okay, I think we've looked at everything here. Anything else we should show McCree? Alright, compadre, count to 3. Huh? You gotta do that if you're gonna draw evidence on someone. That's what we do in Texas. Remind me to never visit Texas. My sister's cell phone. Last time it was used was 5:18, right after Goodwin was killed. Maybe she was canceling her date for the night. Why did Lana make that call? 5:12 p.m. The prospector's bright red steed came in at a trot, real slow-like. A trot? My Madonna tells me the crime occurred 3 minutes later. So it seems the chief prospector was lying in wait. Maybe waiting for her prince to ride in on his bright red horse. So what you mean is, the killer intended to use Edgeworth's car all along. Ah, a toy shield. Suits the boy well. What exactly could you shield with that? Toy knight, maybe? Officer Marshall, don't you have anything good to say about Mr. Edgeworth? You don't like him, right? We get the point. You know, when I was a detective, I got one of these. Let me guess. Did it have a K for King of Detectives on it? Hey, they could use the same shield over and over. Note to self, the prosecutor's office and criminal affairs are surprisingly cheap. You know it. They've gotten cheaper with every passing year, I'll tell you. Right. What's that? Some sort of police passport? This is Detective Goodman's ID card, strangely enough. We found it a good distance away from the crime scene. Good distance in this rat hole? You want distance, get yourself to Texas. Texas? This is a tiny little crime scene in a tiny little town with tiny little evidence. What difference does a few yards make, compadre? Note to self, if you encounter suspicious evidence, think of Texas. There's no better way to study than to hang out with the pros. I'll see your badge. Looks pretty round. Our badge is a star. A lone star shining in the nighttime sky. A beam of light illuminating evildoers who come in the dark of night. Note to self, evildoers are weak against starlight. Hey, that's a sheriff's badge. So what now? Can we talk to Lana again? No. As a detective, I have to keep my mouth shut on that one. I know better than to go blabbing all about things I don't know about. No, I wouldn't want you to do that either. Good. Oh, right, we already did this part. Anything else with this? I was wondering about that. What? Dancing Blue Badger? It's my masterpiece! Oh, it just does this again. It looked, yeah, it didn't have the check mark, so it looked like there was something more I could do with it. The usual want posters are hanging up on the bulletin board here. Do you know this face? If you do, dial 911. You know, Mr. Wright, I always thought it was kind of funny. I've never seen anyone who looked like the people in these posters. They hardly even look human. She has a point. Look, that patrolman's saluting the other guy. He must be a detective. And then I said, hey, you do that, your soup will get cold, buddy. That's hilarious, sir. I'll laugh so hard I cried. I guess he wasn't saluting, he was wiping tears from his eyes. They make a good pair. Mr. Wright, do you know why patrol cars are painted black and white? No idea, why? Well, I think they're designed after a panda. A panda. Not that I have scientific proof, it's just a theory. Do you mind me asking how you came up with that theory? It was when I was on a school trip. I saw a patrol car and it came to me. We'd just been at the zoo, you see? What about zebras? Or did they not have those at your zoo? The banner here is announcing the crime-fighting campaign. Nice slogan. I wonder if they'll be selling fingerprint sets. I don't think it's that kind of campaign. What family wouldn't want a set at home? It's good for finding out who snuck into the cookie jar. I think most families can figure that out without the extra help. I always get excited when I come to a police station. Why's that? Just feels like I've jumped into a movie. Huh? You know, with all the police and criminals? Well, I don't know if this is all that exciting. Sure it is. Look at these two officers over there. They're probably talking about the latest bus. Funny, I thought they were talking about the weather. And about soup, apparently. The detectives in there look pretty busy. Just imagine, right now, behind those doors, a police drama in action. Somehow the thought fails to excite me. Man, please tell me I'm not back where I was at the beginning of this. Oh, right, I didn't... Duh. You didn't use this option. Officer Marshall, could you tell us more about the victim? Good men always die young. Remember that, partner. Could you be a little more specific? Bruce Goodman. He was a detective, right? Well, aren't you a feisty doggy there now? Detective Goodman was stabbed here at 5:15. The smiling Madonna told me of the tale. I think he means the witness, Ms. Angel Starr. One stab to the chest. Fine piece of work. This here's the autopsy report. Ah! Death due to loss of blood. One knife wound. Died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. Within an hour and a half of 4 p.m., so it's not very specific. Was my sister involved with the victim in any way? Funny you should mention that, Bambina. Chief Prospector Sky and Detective Goodman had nothing in common at all. Nothing in common? They apparently worked together on a case a few years back. So there's no motive. Goodman wasn't a particularly gifted detective. That's one reason why he didn't do much work with the Chief Prospector. But my sister called the victim here on the day of the murder, right? Here, to this parking lot? So it seems, like calling an unarmed man to a shootout at high noon. I don't mean any offense, but... Officer Marshall, you're a patrolman, right? Not a detective? You calling me out? They shoot you for that in Texas. Huh? I was once one of them fancy shoe detectives till 2 years ago, to tell you the truth. Oh, really? Now he tells me. But you're a patrolman now, so how can you be in charge of a crime scene? Nothing gets by you, does it, Bambina? So why aren't you in charge? Why are you in charge? No reason. I'm just short on hands right now. Keeping an eye out in the meantime. That's odd, though. Detective Gumshoe is saying he had nothing to do. Nothing important, at least. That is interesting. He's nothing but a sad old cowdog that can't find his tail. Maybe it's because he runs with that Edgeworth, eh? Edgeworth? That cowdog's been kicked out of his cattle run by order of the chief of police. Oh. Just, he don't realize it yet. Detective Gumshoe kicked out of the investigation? It's weird. So there's no connection between Detective Goodman and my sister? That's correct, but There's a goldmine of evidence against her. And the prospector tomorrow is none other than Edgeworth himself. I'm afraid your sister's fate is decided, Bambina. My many condolences. Officer Marshall! Yeah, Bambina? How can you say that? You and my sister, you were... Is there something between this cop and her sister that I don't know about? Yeah, he said he was a detective until 2 years ago. I apologize, Bambina. Something must have gotten to me. Maybe it's that dry wind that's a-blowing through the prospector's office. Dry wind or ill will, someone's up to something here, but who? Suspicions about Mr. Edgeworth have been flying around for nearly 2 years now. Forged evidence and arranging testimonies, you mean? He was unbeatable because he did whatever it took to win. Unbeatable, that is, till he met you. But rumors are just rumors, aren't they? These are prosecutors we're talking about. Evidence is everything to them. If you follow the rumors about Edgeworth to their source, you'll find one person. But they're off limits. Untouchable, you might say. One person? Who? Hate to say this, but it's your sister, Bambina. Chief Prospector Lana Skye. What? My sister? Really? Edgeworth couldn't rustle all those cattle by himself. Some people load their guns with bullets, other people load them with deals. What, you're saying Edgeworth was making deals to win trials? As in bribes? Where there's gunshots, there's bound to be bullets. That's what the old-timers say. There's a big old secret hidden around here somewhere. Everyone knows it. Is that why Detective Gumshoe was taken off the case? Did they target him because he was the closest to Edgeworth? So, well, how are we doing, Mr. Wright? I guess we've got some clues. We have an autopsy report, a note from the victim, and a cell phone. So, you think we'll be okay? I hope so. Well, the only thing bothering me is that Lana is confessing to the crime. She says she did it. No problem. I can guarantee that she's not the criminal. Oh, by the way, Emma? Yes? I know that song your phone plays when it rings. What? It's the Steel Samurai theme song, isn't it? That popular TV show for kids? Yeah, is she a fan too? The phone that rang earlier wasn't mine. It was yours. So Lana was calling Emma. At least trying to call her. At 5:18, just after the murder took place. Your sister called you, didn't she, Emma? I'm sorry. What are you hiding from us now? Can you tell me what you talked about? She hung up right away. Did she now? I see. Cell phone updated. A detective is murdered and the suspect is the top prosecutor in the district. I've got a bad feeling about this. Like, maybe I still don't know everything that went on here. Okay, well... February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they're suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Ms. Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is... you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Alright, Emma. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution's been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since the trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. What? However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Ms. Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Still, that is not a good name for a caterer to have. Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? A whole caviar! I've never eaten caviar before! The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks? Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It's too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. Ugh. The heck does pickled tapioca taste like? I don't know, but I'll bet it's awful. Name, profession, now. Me? The name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Oh, Jesus. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. Her too? And Marshall? She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up? Cough up, Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Oh, I think I get it now. Coughing up evidence. Okay, it makes a little more sense now. Very well, you may continue the description, Ms. Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up... Oh, I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? It was her, wasn't it? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plan. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give me your worst, Miss Starr. Why are you rooting for her? Wait, are they talking about me? Not the most impartial judge ever. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend, when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Oh. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garage car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there's no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. I sense something. Perhaps my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... How would you say... Oh, yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard-yellowed and sharp as a tack. No. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. Oh, Emma there with the sick burn. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean. Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. We're dealing with Edgeworth here. I need something more substantial than that. Can you tell us what the suspect was doing when you saw her? She's holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor? So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Just the tip? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! There is one thing I just realized that bothers me. Oh right, I can't press profiles. Yeah, not in this one. Reason I say that... No print, so I can't... I can't specify if she was holding it in her right hand, but I remember it said, if I looked at the record, didn't it say her right hand was injured? So it would have been odd for her to have... Maybe I do need to press her on some of the seemingly less important details. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they're used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Like I said, both her and Marshall, they were detectives that... until 2 years ago, and they both seem to have a pretty dim view of the prosecutor... That's gonna be important, I think. Miss Star, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if I hadn't been laid off by these prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. So she was fired. And was Marshall demoted then? Laid off? She was fired? To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I'm a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Ms. Starr. I'm going to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective. Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? Oh. The yet another boyfriend position's still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before applying. The security guard room is in the lot, in A block. Oh. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. Since... Not really seen anything concrete. I've pressed her on all her statements, and it doesn't seem like it's revealed anything new. Where fence I saw? Holding a knife in her right hand. Man, this is only the first cross-examination. They're already making it... They're already making this difficult. Okay, yeah, it's... Just for the record, I have played this before, but this was several years ago, so I don't remember everything. Especially ones like this. Witness, in your testimony, wait, this seems new. You clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. Ah, this is where he's going with this. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. No, it wasn't. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be regulated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph. You took this? Oh god, this is new. The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. Really? I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Is there something important? Some kind of important new information? Just the blood on her jacket, but... Still, though, I don't see the victim in this. Thrust the knife into the defendant's chest. This isn't showing that, though. I'm gonna try it. Okay. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that's a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. It was taken the moment after the stabbing. Objection! And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Yeah, that's what I thought too, was the blood on, that looks like blood on her coat anyway. See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? Well, the photo's in black and white, so I can't really tell what color they are. But thank you, Phoenix. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Could be. Could be is not going to fly in court. Oh, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you just going to sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Objection!
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Search for gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? Nope. Keep fingerprints from showing up, obviously. If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. What? Those gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got him thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show this wasn't premeditated. Shit, what do I... What do I have that can indicate the murder might not have been premeditated? On the day of the murder. Is this it? The fact that the fact that Edgeworth's car came in right beforehand. I'm gonna try it. No, I don't think that was it. It does? I don't see anything contradictory. Objection overruled. Shit. Oh, I think I'm on the right track. Oh, wait, no, that's... Because the murder weapon came from Edgeworth's car. There we go. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunch boxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defense said she's your prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Order! Order! Great, now the tide's turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Well, I wouldn't celebrate just yet. Yeah, 'cause Edgeworth's still unfazed. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if the premeditated or... The prosecution couldn't care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned! If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you! My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. He was only stabbed once. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I'd ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? I guess, by that kind of logic. In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Goodman. Grudge. Nope. Nope, stop this shit. I object.
Objection!
You say she stabbed him again and again? But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. What is that? I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Ms. Star. Oh. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Right, good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. I'm the one who... Oh my... I can't even. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness. Thanks for stealing my thunder, Edgeworth. You got the crime scene set, right? Huh? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Her... Wait, what?
Hold it!
Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Yeah, that sounds a little weird. Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. No, they don't. I doubt that. Judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. The red muffler looked like blood. What do we have that can... What do we have to challenge that with? She's not wearing it in that photo!
Objection!
Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. What do you want now? The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. Is Edgeworth trying to steal my thunder again? What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself. With this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Oh, damn. Edgeworth throwing shade now. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really? Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part. The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. How did you get to her that quickly with that? Wasn't there a fence in the way? You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. Cobra is a snake. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. I think most people are. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Run behind a partition off to her side. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. Wait a second. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. With a wire fence between the two of you. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lynchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Star? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. There we go. I'm glad at least some of you are noticing this. I went over it, of course. Amazing! The cough-up queen, lunch lady athlete indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have got to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? It didn't bring up anything new, though. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Oh! Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Okay. But Emma told me that she didn't get to say anything. Her phone. She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? In my memory, it's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right, near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. But it wasn't working. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone. Indeed. The emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should of course add this to your testimony. The things I'd do to please this rookie defense attorney. I saw it all, how she tried to use the phone on the wall but had to use her cell instead. And when did she see this? You think you'd restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was gonna ask the same thing! I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. And how did you see that part with the partition in the way? So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, I think not. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you'd be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Oh? Let's have a look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies. Okay, that one wasn't bad. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you'll allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie the witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... think from where she saw it. Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Ms. Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie? I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Ms. Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where she witnessed the crime was here. Remember, she said she was bringing lunch to her boyfriend in the security room. That would give her a view of all of this.
Take that!
This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think the tables could be turned. Today a man has gotten the better of Angel Starr. Order! Order! Witness, what have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. That is true. She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. That is true. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. But, well, wait, if it was taken from there, who took that picture? If she was in this, if Angel was in the security office, who took that picture? That truth still stands.
Objection!
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? The angle of her view? Oh, the distance to the crime scene. It's the only thing that makes sense, right? It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
Objection!
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see.
Objection!
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Ms. Sky? Well, witness? You. Yes? You are the Squid Wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running toward the scene. But the door was locked, and I couldn't open it. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. That's quite a detour. So that's when she took the picture, right? It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. This does change a lot. What happened in those 5 minutes? 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. Oh, gee, that's quite a wager. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely! Oh boy. Continue to bribe the judge with food. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Do I? I mean, again. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You can make pasta in that amount of time, if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Get the hell out, not make a phone call. Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! That's not what she did, though. Don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the crime scene. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act that way. It's inconceivable. Well then, seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright! That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Oh, what? Really? What? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. Oh, you do. For the... We've been saying for the last 40 minutes now. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woohoo! A triple-decker! Oh my god. Oh, this judge is so easily bought. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchline motto says, you won't be disappointed. What you gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Ms. Lana Skye. Yeah, they did say her hand was bandaged. I mentioned that before. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchline for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed. Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I cannot accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. Can at least study some evidence law, really. Yeah, Phoenix, you're a goddamn lawyer and you didn't study evidence law? The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you've yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. White enamel shoe. Bears traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Skye. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examine. You may cross-examine the witness. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that, a 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most untrustworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, you need to use every trick in the book. This, when the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Ms. Starr. Let's just get this over with. Shoot, I pick this up. Types of blood found on the shoe. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by a forensics expert. And she got away with a little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said. The blood... But when did she get... You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there. Which means we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Miss Lana Skies. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. There's blood on the soles of the shoe. When did that get there? On the sole of the shoe. It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood is horrible. This blood might be an important clue. This blood, it's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. That wasn't... Shit. And you found the shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. It's like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with a shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe is my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you in your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Ew. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? Problem. This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Okay, here we go. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Yeah, this.
Take that!
I wonder if you noticed, there's blood on the bottom of the shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there's quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense, the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of his shoe? Is it? It's right here. Is it? There's no blood on the floor. So when did he step in any?
Take that!
The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Yeah. Yeah, no blood and no bloody footprints. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe.
Objection!
This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Objection!
We didn't see any. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order! Well, witness? What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? Now what's he got up his sleeve? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked till the very end. But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. She's beautiful, but okay. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Oh, she's gonna try to... I see... What does that mean? I see how she's gonna try to spin it. Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes. The suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason, and one reason alone. to erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. What? That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to the murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? That sounds like a strange way to cut yourself. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please! What can I do? Your sister's confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor? Very well. But Angel Star's on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. The court finds the defendant, Ms. Lana Sky... Little girl, what did you just say? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well... I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else!
Objection!
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you'll be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. Another photograph we haven't seen before? A photograph? I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait. Look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Oh. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I know I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not. Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Huh? Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait. Can I look at that from here? No, I can't. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. This photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph. Ah, yes. This thingy in the tailpipe? Remember when she said muffler. She meant... We thought she meant scarf, but... No, she meant car muffler. The problem in this photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor. You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. Really? Judge, are you that dense? A muffler is also part of a car or a motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe. I see. And, I see. What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth and the muffler's related to this case. Right there.
Take that!
Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler! Ugh! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Well, it seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew! That was close. But we made it. At least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. You can't still be hungry. He's still hungry. Okay. Then this will be a good cutoff for at least I'll take a quick break for a few minutes and I'll be right back.